Yo, 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 what is good, good people? This is your Don't Listen podcast with your boy TP. Now, yesterday and recently, I've been seeing a lot of craziness on my timeline, on Facebook, of course. It's just the usual. It's the usual. But, in the wake of recent deaths recently of Harry Belafonte, rest in peace, Jerry Springer, I had seen a disparity between these two gentlemen passing that's very troubling to me. It's very troubling to me. And I thought it was something to talk about. Now, especially this morning when I got up, I saw these, stupid posts, resting in peace, Jerry Springer. Oh, Jerry Springer gave me things to do when there was nothing to do. Okay. That's how you look at it. More power to you. But in the wake of this, I thought, you know what? I need to do a podcast on this goofy. A lot of goofy going on. And, sometimes you just got to call things what they are. And if people don't know, I'm here to educate them. The difference between Harry Belafonte and Jerry freaking Springer. Okay? Because I think a lot of people running around here confused. Stockholm syndrome is a thing. And I'm going to start this podcast off as, just something I want to show y'all real fast. It's not nothing really, just a post. And y'all can see it. There's right there. Let me make it big so y'all can see. Not that. Okay, here. Let's do this. Okay. This is what I said. I said, I see a whole lot of rest in peace Jerry Springer on my timeline and not one rest in peace Harry Belafonte. I'm going to educate you all today. Harry Belafonte will be the subject of my next podcast, a man of great morals, ethics, and political activism. While you praise a man who looking to get beads from women, pulling up their shirts and exploiting poor people, Stockholm syndrome is a thing. Okay. Now, I said that, I said that because this is what I truly believe. While people running around praising, and I see the media doing it as well, they doing exposés on Jerry Springer. And I don't I have never really subjected my brain to that kind of, media to have my brain destroyed by goofy. I don't watch stuff like that. I don't watch nothing like that. It's not in my in my realm of good media, good anything. I just seen a lot of stuff when it comes to Jerry Springer that the show itself, not the man, I don't know the man, but the show itself is not something to be upheld in the Black community or any community for that matter. Because, in my opinion, that show, what it depicted was women looking to do anything to get these Jerry beads. And y'all know what that was. What did you have to do to get Jerry beads, right? And then you bringing people up, and I don't like to insult people's intelligence, but for somebody to come on TV and air all their dirt out, you know, and feel okay with it, to me, that's terrible, a terrible look on their part. But they didn't know it. They just thought, let's go on TV and air our grievances. Maybe we'll come to some kind of conclusion. But at the end of the day, the people that engaged in that, at the end of the day, to the people at home, made them look crazy. And I think Jerry Springer show exploited that. Those people weren't our worst in society. Those people weren't the, or shouldn't have been the butt of everybody's joke, but they were exploited. So when people spread these narratives about Jerry Springer show, that's the part that they leave out. Is it a part of American culture? Yes. Something very distractive. And we all need distractions. We need that. Get away from the craziness that's going on in this country today. You need distractions. You need something to get your mind off the craziness and the goofy, right? You need that. But to uphold somebody all up and down my timeline, rest in peace, crying emojis and everything else. And I didn't see one thing on Harry Belafonte, who did much more for everybody, not just Black people, right? But Black people in general, speaking to his people, did more for American culture than Jerry Springer could ever dream of. But as in this system, we know what gets promoted, right? We know who will get promoted and who will get demoted, right? But just in case you don't know, I'm here to educate you today. Okay? I'm not showing nothing about Jerry Springer. I'm going to show you something about Harry Belafonte. Okay? And I want y'all to take a listen to what this brother said. And this message is from, well, let me show you. Let me just not talk about it. Let me show you. Okay? Let me show you something. Okay? Let me show you something. Okay? September 22nd, 2005. This was at the Congressional Black Caucus Town Hall after then Senators Obama and Clinton do their stump speeches. Harry Belafonte takes the gloves off. Now, I want y'all to understand something. I want y'all to understand something. You know, this is something that Black people are in desperate need of. American Black people. I'm not saying Black people in general. I'm saying American Black people. This is what's missing. A fearless leader did not sparse his words in front of the establishment, in front of people he didn't care two craps about their opinions. This is what's missing, right? Because it's a lot of people out here that pontificate, and the pontificators know who I'm talking to, right? They pontificate. Oh, they real big talking about themselves, the narcissist. Yeah, they talk about themselves all the time, right? They ain't game changers. They are the status quo. The status quo is speak on me, look at me, don't look over here, look at me, right? But we here to show y'all a real leader, someone who truly will be missed, and the good brother Harry Belafonte. And let's not, you know, as people raise these non productive people up to the forefront as what Black people tend to do. Like I said, Stockholm syndrome is a thing. People like to glorify violence, right? People like to glorify ratchetnisms. You know what ratchetnisms are? People that's just loud for no damn reason. And when they talk, they ain't saying nothing. Right. Those podcasters out here that don't take a chance on anything. They used to doing the status quo, right? They don't take a chance on speaking on political issues. They don't take a stand speaking on anything that will buck the dollar, right? But they want to tell you what you should be doing, but they won't do nothing to you know what I mean, stop or even think about stopping their growth. They don't take chances. They don't say what they really feel. They just go out here and talk. But today we're going to have somebody tell you some truths. A real brother of activism, a real brother for the people, and somebody that definitely will be missed. You can go get your Jerry beads from somewhere else because you're not going to get it here. Today, we're going to listen to the great brother, Harry Belafonte. Now, let me shut up and let y'all hear what he has to say. Because if we need somebody to listen to, these words ring true today. Again, this is from This is from 2005, September 22nd. And it was during the Democratic Congressional Black Caucus where we had Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton running for president back then. And I want y'all to listen to this because it's very scathing and it's very real. And to all the fake pontificator narcissists, this is something for you, to the brother that takes no chances pontificating out here. This is for you because you do have Stockholm syndrome. Okay, so let's listen to the good brother Harry Belafonte.
Harry Belafonte, thank you. Thank you for a lifetime of commitment and struggle. And it's.
One second. It seems like somebody don't want y'all to hear this message, but we're going to hear this freaking message because it's very important. and they need to stop playing with me. Okay. Yep. Stuff gets changed around without you changing it around. Okay.
There is no one who is.
Let's rewind.
Thank you for a lifetime of commitment and struggle. And it's. There is no one who has traveled as far.
Yes.
In terms of being there for the people, not just in these great United States, but throughout the continent of Africa, Asia, Europe, throughout the Caribbean, and has never backed away from controversy. A man who is the 21st century's example of the great Frederick Douglass, who speaks truth to power. And you should know that we not only appreciate it, but we respect what you do and what you stand for, unbought, unbossed, and unbowed. That is unique in America today. Thank you. Mr. Belafonte, having traveled, you've been down to Louisiana, we've seen you, having addressed some of these issues. What do you want to appeal to this audience to do, and to America watching this? What do we need to do to make sure that the issues that we have witnessed over the last month are not allowed to disappear? What's our charge from you?
You know, the last thing Dr. King said to me before he was murdered was in my home when we were sitting planning strategy for the Poor People's Campaign, which was on the horizon of the politics of the day. That's why he went to Memphis. And in the course of that meeting, he seemed distracted and a little under-focused. And when we asked him what was the matter, Martin said, you know, I've been thinking long and hard about our struggle. We worked tenaciously for our rights. And the culmination of all that effort will be reflected in what we've come to call the integration movement. And I sit here deeply concerned that I suspect we are leading our nation on an integration trip that has us integrating into a burning house. I don't think we quite understood how pathetic that remark was. After all, we're in the midst of a very heady moment in our struggle. We were winning on a lot of frontiers. Bull Connor had been confronted. The bus boycotts had worked. Votes were coming. Even Lyndon Baines Johnson had been struck by the spirit and got up and talked about we shall overcome in the Congress. And for Dr. King to have been in this place at a time when we seemed to have been making great headway was a moment to pause and reflect. That reflection has taken longer than I had suspected it would, but it has certainly come to reveal itself fully when we look at the condition in which we find not only our world, but in particular, our nation. The wreckage that's taking place down in the Gulf region, in the southwest part of the United States, is not the only wreckage that exists. We have a lot of wreckages around this country. And perhaps the most distracting and perhaps the most important wreckage to take a look at is really the wreckage of the Democratic Party.
Get him to the stage.
I've been a Democrat all my life. I have no treaty with the Republicans.
Let me stop it right there, because look who he's sitting next to, what he said. When he said the wreckage of the Democratic Party, look who he's sitting next to. And then look who he looks over at. I think that's very important and shouldn't be missed. Okay, he looked over at Barack Obama, and he also looked at Hillary Clinton. And listen to these words. This is a great pontificator, good people. Not these narcissists out here that think they are. But listen to this. This is very compelling what he's going to say. Okay? I want y'all to understand. That's why I'm stopping and talking about it, to give you context. Okay? Listen to what he's saying and look who he's talking to. Now, remember, this is the Democratic National Committee Black Caucus that he's speaking to, okay, with Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton running for president.
Nor do I really seek one. But the Democratic Party was not always our friend. As a matter of fact, a lot of what we had to struggle against was in the possession and the power of Democrats who came from the South. And when we showed them the tenaciousness and the conviction and the sense of great purpose that the people of this nation had into transforming our condition, all those Democrats from the South ran off and became Republicans as an act of punishment for what we were trying to achieve as a people. And that punishment continues to play itself out. Eleanor Roosevelt was a close friend. And once sitting in Hyde Park with her, she told a story about a great black leader by the name of A. Philip Randolph. He was one of the great giants of the century, certainly one of the great thinkers. And she recalled an evening when A. Philip Randolph had been invited to a dinner at the White House. And just he and her and the President, Franklin Roosevelt. And during the course of the dinner, the President invited Mr. Randolph to speak his thoughts. And for a long time, A. Philip Randolph held forth on every list of grievances he could think of, for the people in the labor movement, for the people who were poor, for black people, and Roosevelt permitted him to hold forth without any interruption until he concluded. At the end of it, Roosevelt reached for a box of cigars, passed one around to Philip, and as he slowly lit the cigar, he turned to Philip Randolph and he said, "Philip, let me tell you, I've heard everything you've said. I've missed absolutely nothing. And there's nothing that you've said that I disagree with. And I do, in fact, have the platform to be able to make the transformation work that you're looking for, and I guess we're all looking for. I have just one request of you, and it is for you to go out and make me do it." It seems to me that there'll be no loftier statements and no greater speeches to be made than have already been made. Certainly Abraham Lincoln, Frederick Douglass, Fannie Lou Hamer down in Atlanta.
Look at that sister's face when he said that. There ain't no more great speeches to be made. There aren't any more things that need to be said. Look at her face and look who he looked at when he said it. I think that's very important, and it provides context because he's looking at Barack Obama, telling him, we don't need no more of your speeches. We need you to do something. And he's speaking directly to Barack Obama when he said that. Let's continue.
City, when she challenged with the Freedom Mississippi Democratic Party. There are a lot of people who have made speeches that are as eloquent as will ever be written. And we've listened to a lot of redundancy. A lot of people who have carefully selected the phrases and applied them to the moment.
Yes.
What eludes us is the bankruptcy of the action itself. This poverty that our country is witnessing has never gone away. Most of the politicians I know of have visited these places of poverty. They make it their business when they're running for the highest office in this nation to go into the heart of our pain, our anguish, our indignities, and make promises only to walk into the places of power and then deny us. I guess part of the reason I'm here is to...
I mean, look at these sisters' face and the mix in the crowd. You got young Black women, young Black men, older Black men, older Black women. Look at their face while he's speaking and the cynical looks on their face at who he's talking to. Okay? This is speaking truth to power. This is that in its best form by Harry Belafonte. Let's continue, because what we're not going to do in a day of praising Jerry Springer, what we ain't going to do is forget about men like this, something that is needed today in our community.
Really look through the ravages of the Democratic Party and see if anything is really worth salvaging.
Yes. Yeah, look at her face. Yes. In their face.
Because when Dr. King said, we're integrated into a burning house, we said to him, what do we do about it? He said, we're just going to have to go out and become firemen. Well, maybe that's what my humble task is. To find the truck, get the hose, and know where to turn it on. This country reveals its moral decay every day of its existence.
Right. And that's what I'm talking about. This country shows its moral decay every freaking day. And that's why you got people on Facebook praising freaking Jerry Springer and not saying nothing when this man passed away. This is why I'm doing this podcast today, to let you know this is what it's supposed to be, not what you see. It ain't what you heard, it's what you think. Stop playing with me.
Our prisons, the largest prison system in the world, are filled with those who are the victims of poverty. The women who are disenfranchised, young teenage mothers, are victims of poverty. Poverty is knocking at our door all day long. It sits in the mirror for us to look in every morning. When we look at what's going on with the schools in this country, we build more prisons than we build schools. We have more young Black men and women in the prisons of America than we have in the universities. Poverty is in our face all day long. Why is everybody behaving all of a sudden like this is some great revelation?
He is here? Are they both here right now?
And I'll tell you something, there's a lot of people out here who are really pissed off. We are angry, we're upset, we're sad, we hold our children, we wheel our wheelchairs, we look around for some comfort, and we don't find any. Well, we have to look to ourselves, because I think the last frontier of truth and hope in this country are the people themselves.
Yeah, that is the thing, good people. We put too much hope into these politicians that they will do right by us. We put too much hope into this system that we live under to make it do something for us. He said the hope is in the people. The hope is in the people. The people where it's always been. That's that's what's missing. People looking out for people. That's what's missing. Black people have lost themselves into this crazy ass culture of sensationalism. That's why people love Jerry Springer more than they love Harry Belafonte. That's why people will post on their pages of how much they're going to miss Jerry Springer and say nothing about Harry Belafonte. Because ignorance is promoted here. Ignorance is promoted. If you show any signs of intelligence, it looks like, nah, we don't want this guy around. He might say something we don't agree with. And if you listening to where Harry Belafonte was speaking, you hear them cutting into his mic talking about, where is this going and stuff like, listen to, this is in 2005. Okay, good people. This is 2005. And this was actually promoted by Bernie Sanders' campaign. Oh my God, what a disappointment he was. But at the same time, just listen, because I'm gonna play this whole video for y'all. I'm gonna play because like I said, y'all ain't gonna be sitting out here talking about some freaking Jerry Springer when we got people like this that passed away recently, and nobody's really talking about him, but y'all all want to talk about freaking Jerry Springer. Okay, well, let's get back to the real right here. Because like I said, he's speaking truth to power in front of power's face. Two of the most highly celebrated Democrats. I don't know. I mean, y'all keep it. I don't want to make it too political because YouTube ain't going to play it. But let's keep it moving, good people.
And I think our honorable senator is absolutely right. I'm not that much interested in 06. It's just another date for a lot of rich folks and a lot of anger, and for a lot of opportunists and a lot of people to go out and do their thing yet again. I'm interested in something much bigger, something much longer, and it's going to take much more time than just 06 to fix it. You know, we look at these things in terms of sound bites and short-term efforts. It's going to take longer than that. And I think we have to serve notice that we're looking for a second party. Some people will suggest that two exist. I say there's really one. It comes in various grades of difference.
Yes, sir. Stop playing. Okay? You got people out here that says this today. I said it many times. It doesn't matter who you get, Democrat or Republican, they both do the same thing, which is nothing for the people. Let's continue.
The American people have some decisions to make. Our foreign policy has made a wreck of this planet. I'm always in Africa. That's my business. I move among the poor. I move among the tragic. I move among those who are the victims of human and moral disaster. And when I move to these places, I see American policy written on the walls of oppression everywhere. And I occasionally see some representative from our Congress or from our government coming to visit, coming to take another look, to get some more facts, to come back and to make a report. We don't need an independent committee to find out what happened and what is happening to this country. Our last independent committee told us. And Bush and the arrogance of these people to go off again and play the same scenario because they know that we ain't gonna make a difference for where they want to go, has to be changed. We have to give them a call to a new awakening. We know when they give a contract, a no-bid contract to Halliburton, we know what they did when they gave that contract to Halliburton in Iraq. We know what they do when they suspend minimum wage and go out and get immigrants to come in and to do the dirty work.
Okay, that was very important what he said. He just told y'all something right there. It might gloss over some people's head, but it ain't gloss over mine. They suspended minimum wage and they allowed immigrants to come here and work for less so they don't have to pay you anything. Okay, that's why we still don't have a $15 minimum wage here, which is not even enough in this economy. But let's continue. The good brother here is preaching. Stop playing.
Spending the minimum wage are setting black people and brown people and immigrants and men and women against one another when we should in fact be uniting.
Right.
So I would hope
Said that too.
that while the Black Caucus celebrates its moment, while we have all these wonderful black leaders and our white progressive associates, that we would get off the rhetoric, get off the redundancy, and dig deep into this country and let George W. Bush, let the Christian right, let a whole bunch of folks that's running away with this nation know that their legs have just been amputated.
Okay, now when he said that, look who he looking at when he said that. He's giving Barack Obama his marching orders. Y'all make up your own mind if he delivered on that. But at the end of the day, he's giving him his marching orders. This is what's missing out the black community today. Brothers like this who have the courage to speak truth to power and not pontificate some bull crap.
I'll rest my case.
He rested his case. He rested his case, absolutely. Yeah, he did that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did that. Yes, yes. The good brother Harry Belafonte clapping back at the liberal establishment to their face. To their face. Oh, it gives me such pleasure to watch good brothers like that give you the real. And this, people, 2005, he said this. It's 18 years ago. And what's still going on today? The same goddamn crap. Right? Ain't nothing changed since then. This brother was speaking prophecy. He was telling you what the real is. And while you sit home and you spoil your brain with stuff like Jerry Springer, when you have brothers out here like him doing the real work, helping real people. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. These are the people we need to hold up. Not these podcasters that pontificate. Look at me. It's all about me. If it wasn't for a community, it would be no you, right? If it wasn't for a community, there would be no you. And people are losing sight of that with their narcissistic ways coming out. But as in this culture, sensationalism is what feeds the algorithm. How many times you like, comment, share, and subscribe feeds the algorithm. Craziness and stupid shit pleases this algorithm, and stuff that you want to see will be thrown in your face. But brothers like him, Harry Belafonte, a real American G, if you want to call him that, gives you the skinny, straight up, no filter. And while you people on Facebook celebrate somebody with the likes of Jerry Springer, you need to know what you came from. You need to know what was really your roots, what you come from. Have I always been the person I am today? Hell no. But what I do know is I use stuff to elevate my way of thinking. Anything outside of elevation is a distraction, right? It's okay to have them, but it's not okay. What is not okay is to make it more important than anything else. And that's what Jerry Springer was, nothing but a distraction. He wasn't great like Harry Belafonte. And I would like all you people to understand this ain't no hate. I don't come for people on my podcast. Y'all know how I get down. Y'all know the real people that know, they know this is not hate towards Jerry Springer. This is knowledge, knowledge of self, where we come from, what our roots are, what we should be or aspire to be. Let the narcissists and the fake pontificators have their way. Let them say what they say, but don't let that become a part of you. Okay? I mean, that's all I wanted to say. That's all I wanted to show. You know, watching my Facebook feed gave me motivation to bring y'all a real person of character, integrity, cultural importance, not no Jerry Springer, and not on Don't Listen podcasts. And like I always tell y'all, that is the reason I first started doing Don't Listen podcasts. Don't listen to the narratives. Don't listen to these fake pontificators, the ones that always say, look at me, look how great I am. They easily forget about their community. They never talk about anything of importance or substance. They want to keep you caught up in this culture of just watching me. Look at them, right? You know who I'm talking to. Yeah, I'm talking to you because you are the great pontificator of fakeness. You finally found something you was kind of good at, and you want to make everybody think you great. And you're not. You're fake. And yeah, I said it on Don't Listen podcast. This has been the Don't Listen podcast with your boy TP, talking about a great man. A really great man, the number one. Yeah, I said it. The gatekeepers are scared, good people. Yeah. But I ain't. Stop playing with me. I wish nothing but peace to all of you on your journey. Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I wish nothing but peace to all of you on your journey. And yeah, show Harry Belafonte some love. Go back and watch some of his old speeches and listen to a real pontificate. Someone who's going to give you knowledge of self and everything else. Stop playing. Peace, and I'm out. Deuces.